Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Greyboy podcast. I am your host, the molder of minds, the man of 1,000 hobbies, Super Kami Will, and I am joined today by the most important member of the Greyboy podcast, me. I decided to follow in Gene's footsteps and do a single episode, but I promise it will be much better than his, mainly because I do words better. So in the Greyboys family, we all have our own, I don't want to say niches, but our expertise. With Gene, Dragon Ball Z, and SAO. With Brendan, it's like sports or something. I don't really know. And with me, well, I would say Star Wars and Gundam. And on certain days, maybe Power Rangers. And maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Not so much Yu-Gi-Oh! But, so, it is Saturday, the 25th. And tomorrow is the Royal Rumble. Gene's coming over. We are huge wrestling fans. But not only that, Gene will build his first ever Gunpla tomorrow. I will be helping him. The SD Freedom Gundam. I think he mentioned that last podcast, but he wasn't really... He doesn't know Gundam like I do. So he will be doing that. We will be playing a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now we were born in the 90s. Gene, I think like late 90s, early 2000s. And so we really only know the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Like maybe up to 5Ds. I know up to 5Ds. Gene only kind of knows up to GX. We don't know any of the other rules of Pendulum and Link and all that crap. So we'll be playing OG Yu-Gi-Oh! And like usual, I will probably beat him. Because I'm just so goddamn good at the game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of my 1,000 hobbies. When it comes to mastering card games, whether it be Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering recently, maybe Naruto. I'm not so good at Naruto. And Dragon Ball Z or Super, the new card game, not the old one. I'm your guy. So it'll be interesting. Because, Gene is a cheater. He mains this asshole called Beast King Barbados. Totally cheap. POS. I think most of his cards like banned cards anyway. He doesn't play fair. But in the end, I will once again win. And the Royal Rumble, we usually watch AEW. But we'll be watching the Royal Rumble this weekend almost to get us ready for the XFL, the Extreme Football League, that's coming back, I think, like in 2 weeks, the week after the Super Bowl. I think all of us will be going to the first game, the New York City Guardians versus the Tampa somethings. I don't even fucking know. But it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I think it's going to be bad. But I'm going to buy a shitload of merch. Each of us will be bringing something. I will be bringing the knowledge of Vince McMahon and the XFL. Brendan will be bringing his knowledge of football, sports, because that's all he does. That's all he knows. And Gene... So yeah, it's going to be a really amazing game. Now, originally, when I heard the podcast from last week, because usually I do all the editing, but last week, Gene recorded it and edited it all by himself. I just made the background image and the video. So I was really interested to listen to the podcast. The first time listening to a Greyboy podcast without editing it, like kind of just experience it for the first time with all of you. And whoa, his knowledge of Gundam had me fuming. I was gonna Rise of Skywalker this, meaning just spending the whole episode retconning everything that he did in his podcast episode. But I figured that kind of just be a waste of time. So I think this week, this podcast, I think I'm just going to talk about video games. Like, video games I'm playing, that I'm looking forward to. Currently, I am playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links on my computer. I got back into that, somehow. I just bored one day and played it. I'm trying to finish Nekopara Volume 1. It is a nightmare to get through. I played Nekopara Zero, and it was kind of funny, because it was like a 3-hour-long game, and you could do all this stuff. But playing Nekopara 1, it's a visual novel, but it's not really a visual novel, because in visual novels, you usually get choices that will affect, like, what direction the game goes in story-wise. But this game, it's just, I just sit there and, like, just play a video and watch it. It's not even a video, I'm just, like, watching images with the text on the bottom. Super fucking boring. But I bought the nudity DLC, so it's pretty fucking awesome at the same time. 10 out of 10. Besides from that, I am continuing, as always, to play the EA Star Wars Battlefront 2. Trying to just get all the skins in the game. I'm not an asshole that bought the Legendary Edition that came out recently, where it's just like you buy all the skins. Stupid. Not worth $23. Or I think like $28. If you want to play that game, wait for it to go back on sale. I bought the game like about a year ago for like $8 because the game was fucking trash when it launched. wait for it to go on sale again. It eventually will. I'm currently playing the Resident Evil 2 reboot, and I've never played a Resident Evil game before in my life. I don't do horror games. I'm a bitch when it comes to horror. So the way I'm playing this, and I have been told that I'm playing it wrong, is I watched the walkthrough, like, sections at a time. Then I just play that in the game, and then stop when I get to where I was in the video. Cause I can't do jump scares. It's too much. That game is too scary for me. I can't take it. So I just I have to go in knowing okay, I this is the room I need to get the items in. These are where the zombies are gonna come out of. This is my escape route. That's how I have to play this game. So that's just been how I've been playing that game. Like I've been said, I think Gene is very annoyed that's how I play the game. Even though he doesn't play a Resident Evil game. So fuck you, Gene. Also, one of my games I love the most on my computer is Star Wars Empire at War. This shit came out early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s. And it's amazing simply because the modding community is, it's the only game I play that has mods, that I use mods. And it's just amazing. I think the new mod that just came out was the Fall of the Republic mod. It's by the same people who made the Thrawn's Revenge mod, and it's amazing. I love the Clone Wars and Star Wars, that era, that the ships, the Venator, the Arc 170s, the Providence class dreadnoughts. It's my favorite ship era in all of Star Wars. So I've just been playing the shit out of that. The only bad thing is I really suck at the Empire at War by itself. I'm not that good at it. The micromanaging is a little much for me. But it's still amazing the game. I love it. I would totally recommend if you're a Star Wars fan. And you have time to kill, because this game, I think I've logged almost 200 hours in it. I love it so fucking much. One game that I beat recently that I'm contemplating going back to is the Pokemon Sword. I have the Sword version. That is another game that I was informed that I am playing it wrong. I've been playing Pokemon games my whole life. But, so in this game, I went up to about the first... No, I went 2 gyms in. And then I spent maybe 3 weeks just farming, doing the raids. So, I mean, I went into the 3rd gym with 20 Pokemon level, in the mid-60s level-wise. I don't know, I thought it'd be funny this go around to just really grind out the way I've never grinded before. So I spent weeks. I focused mostly on the newer Pokemon in this game, the new release Pokemon. So Galar region Pokemon, or versions of the old Pokemon, and I tried not to do any Pokemon that I use in older previous games, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. The story was good. I hate the main rival. I think he was the most annoying rival out of them all because he really felt like a tag along bitch. I played as the female. I didn't play as hot. And I think the Nintendo Direct recently came out. I don't know how I feel about Pokemon getting into DLCs. The argument I see some people is it kind of feels like the DLC is stuff that should have been in the game beforehand. And it is back and forth. The people who are for it say, well, you don't just want a remake, not a remake, but a 2, Black and White 2 or Ultra Sun and Moon, which I agree. I didn't play Sun and Moon. I only played, I think, Ultra Moon. And it was one of the worst, it was maybe the worst Pokemon game. I'm sorry, the second worst Pokemon game I've ever played. Because it was just so story heavy. You spent the entire time, I'd walk 15 feet and I'd get a 3-minute, dialogue scene. It was terrible. And I just kept rapidly clicking A and then look back to see what I had. It was just terrible. I hated the game. Great Pokemon, but I mean I couldn't tell you a single story arc, a single beat in that story arc. A game I'm looking forward to though is the Final Fantasy VII remake. I know it was delayed till April or something. And fuck man, I want it to come out on PC. It's bullshit that's not coming out on PC. I think it is a PS4 exclusive. I have a PS4. But I really don't like to play it that much. I'm PC. I have all my games on my PC. I'm done with consoles. I don't want to get back into them. I know the PS5 was really announced and the Xbox, whatever they're calling the new Xbox. Fuck that, man. Now that Halo's out on my computer, I'm done with consoles. Any game that I need comes to consoles. Well, besides Final Fantasy VII Remake. But I'm thinking about skipping it now because I'm fuck you, PS4. I don't want to pay to play on my TV anymore. I want to play on computers. Only computers. PC Master Race. Another amazing game coming out is the Fairy Tail game. It's an RPG game. I have no effing idea what it's called. I'm a huge Fairy Tail fan. I think it looks amazing. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to play as Wendy. Only Wendy. I'm just going to play as Wendy because she's my favorite character in that series. But I want to play... it'd be cool to play as the Exceeds too. I'd play as Happy. Not Carla though, just Happy. So yeah, I can't wait for that to come out. I mean, I know they have... There's an amazing phone game for Fairy Tail in Japan. I don't know what it's called. Something Dice, I think. But I really always wanted it to come to global. It's a phone game. And I remember Funimation for years, I think starting back in 2016, was like, we're going to come out with the Fairy Tail phone game. We're partnered with this company in Japan that we're going to make a game. And that never happened. And like a year or two later, it's like, hey, we're going to, when I think the last season of Fairy Tail came out, like, we're definitely going to make a Fairy Tail phone game. And then that never happened. So I know there's a few Fairy Tail games for the DS, but I want like something new. I want something fun. I want to whip out my DS to play some crappy graphic Fairy Tail game. So this is my answer. I'm so happy it's coming out in America though, because I don't know. I feel like a lot of the anime TV games that I like don't usually come out in America. Like besides Dragon Ball Z, I can't think of a lot of anime games. Like the Fate series. That game series never came to America. Don't know why. They're leaving millions on the table. I mean, I don't know if you guys know the Fate series, but it is an amazing series. I've just gotten into it like in the last year. I've watched like 6 seasons and like a movie. And it's based off a series of video games. And the TV show, I mean, it's a huge franchise. The TV show is like this whole thing where it comes to about fighting for this wish-making grail and all these famous people, like heroes almost, throughout our like actual history, like these competitors. And then it's based off a game series where it's just like, what if Leonardo da Vinci was a chick and she's hot and you can have sex with her? And that's all the game series is about. And then they just made some like random anime loosely based on it, and then it became a hit. And they never brought the game to America. Now obviously I know why. It's a porn game. It's basically a porn game. But I think it'd be funny to bring it in because I would love to like just see people's reactions when they're like, oh man, that's a video game now? Let me try it out. And then bam, they try it out and whoa. Now they're degenerates, just like all of you. Another amazing game coming out is Doom Eternal. Now I was never a Doom fan as a kid. I had Nintendo 64, and I think I actually might have had a Doom game on it. And I remember playing it a little bit, but I was not into the graphics, so it wasn't for me. And then one day, the Steam had a sale, and I remember Doom when it came out in 2016 was a huge hit, a massive hit. People loved it. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Fighting demons and Mars. And the story made no sense to me, even while playing it. I was very confused. Somehow, you go to Mars, and that's where like a portal to hell is. And you're fighting demons, and somehow you're using energy from hell as like the new main fuel source on Earth. So wacky story. But I loved it. I loved the gameplay. It was amazing. And so when I heard that Doom Eternal is coming out, I mean, I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I'm thinking about getting. I don't remember what like the collector's edition is. I'm thinking about getting it because I was just so fucking in love with the Doom game, including the multiplayer. Because back before Halo Reach came out, or Halo was even announced to come out on PC, I played the Doom multiplayer, and that felt to me like Halo. It had so many of the same beats as it. Not that it's a ripoff or anything. Like it felt genuinely unique. Like when you're playing and you could turn into demons. It was an amazing aspect. I love the multiplayer and the story. And I can't wait for this new one. Based on the footage I've seen, it looks like it's just Doom 2016, but everything just even better. Like, I can't wait for the story to see where it went, because I was very interested. I thought the story was funny, but I still dug it. And I really am interested to see where it goes from here. I mean, I've never played a game where the story kind of like this exactly. Where you're like Master Chief fighting demons on Mars. I can't wait to see how it goes. One game that came out recently that I haven't gotten yet, Gene has, is Kakarot. Now, Gene's a way bigger Dragon Ball Z fan than I am. I love Dragon Ball Z. I'm a huge fan. I have statues. I have the DVDs. I like Dragon Ball Z just as much. Not just as much as him, but I know Gene is one of the biggest fans of Dragon Ball. But I'm like a close second behind him. So, Kakarot came out. I have not been a big fan of Dragon Ball Z games in the past decade. Besides Fighters, I played Xenoverse 1, 2, Ultimate Tenkaichi. I played Dokkan on the phone. I played Legends on the phone. But it's really, I'm not, I think Dragon Ball Z games, they're not as iconic to me as the ones when I was a kid. I know, total boomer moment, but like the Budokai franchise and Tenkaichi Budokai, like they were amazing games. So I was a little hesitant to get another Dragon Ball Z game just because I'm so bored of doing the main storyline of Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I've played it like maybe almost honestly 100 times because it's just every game is the same thing. Just play through the three arcs, the Frieza arc, the Cell arc, and the Buu arc. You just play them over and over again. After a while, it's like, Jesus, I could like do the dialogue, the generic dialogue from these games in my head. And I know games like Xenoverse, when it came out, was like, hey, it's a different way to play the same like arc or the same story. But in the end, it was just boring because it's just instead of being Goku fighting all those battles, you just insert your own character fighting all those battles. I hated Xenoverse. I thought it was a terrible game, boring, repetitive, nothing fun about it. Everything about it felt tedious. You just do the main story, and all the side quests was like just not. It wasn't interesting. So when I heard another Dragon Ball Z game was coming out, and I watched some of the early footage, and it's just you're just doing the same thing. You're just playing the main story again. And I see that the graphics are better, but the gameplay looks the same, boring. It didn't look good to me, so I didn't get it. I know Gene got it. He liked it somewhat. His opinion on it. I don't mean to put words in his mouth, but from what he's told me, it's basically what I've seen online with all the reviews. Is that it looks beautiful, but the gameplay is all right, and it's supposed to be an RPG game. And in an RPG game, you do a lot of like side quests. Like try to think of Skyrim. So you're doing a lot of them. You don't just do the main story. You could like just it's a free open world game. You go walk around, do these side quests, do whatever you want, grind levels. And from what I can tell, from what I can understand in this game, it's none of that matters. Like you could just play the main story without doing any of the side stuff. It seems like tedious add-ons where it's just not important to the main story. So you can do all the fun side stuff, but it's not fun. It's I heard it's boring. The what you get from it doesn't really matter. Like you don't get a lot of experience. You get some items that help, but it's just not necessary to the story. So I mean, I might get the game eventually. I mean, I always complain about Dragon Ball Z games, but in the end, I always buy them anyway. I think I've beaten all of them that I've ever bought, except for Xenoverse 2. I couldn't finish that one. It was just too bad. But so I'll get it eventually. I'm gonna wait till it goes on sale a little bit. I'm gonna buy it for the computer, so I'm hoping maybe during the summer on Steam it'll be like on sale for. I'll get it if it's in the $20 range, the 20s at least. Yeah, I don't know. Like, goddamn, Gene, you're such a fucking nerd. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't do like a warning in the beginning that this is gonna be an explicit podcast. But yeah, it's gonna be cursing in this, as you might have seen already. So, Gene, goddamn your love of SAO and Dragon Ball Z. Oh yeah, and Brennan and sports or something. I don't know. Sports suck. They're boring. Except soccer. Except Premier League soccer. That's fun. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this podcast. I think it went well. I've never done one of these alone. I understand now, Gene, when you talk to me, it's a little, a little weird recording just yourself talking to yourself. But I hope it all came out well. And I'll see how it comes out if we're going to do more in the future. It's now in Brendan's ball court. That's a reference to sports for him. To do a single one, like one of them for himself. I can't wait to not listen to a full podcast about Eli Manning retiring. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for now. So, thank you everyone for listening. JJ Ames sucked. SAO sucked. Sig Xeon. And we are